All right, and welcome back to another episode of Chip Theory. Today I'm discussing another Lydian modal scale. Um, Here we see we've got the chips laid out from A flat on the left. A flat is going to be our keynote today for our A flat Lydian mode, the A flat Lydian scale. First thing we need to realize when looking for a Lydian mode is the pattern for the Lydian mode in terms of whole steps and half steps. For the scale, it's going to be a whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. That's going to be our pattern for the Lydian mode. Again, this is inverse from the Locrian pattern, which is a half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step. So if we think of it as the Locrian pattern being the Lydian pattern in inverse, we know both modal patterns at once. If we know our Lydian, we can say our Locrian if we just say it backwards. Again, Lydian is whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half. The second thing we need to realize when looking for any Lydian scale is the key of which the Lydian mode is derived from. So the way we do that is we're going to count down the number of half steps that we need for the scale degrees. The Lydian mode is going to be the fourth degree of a major scale. So the fourth degree of a major scale is 5 half steps, or a fourth above the tonic of that key. So if we were to count down from the fourth note 5 half steps, that would lead us to the root of our relative major. So here I've got the A flat up here at the top, and I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half steps. That leads us to the E flat note here. So we know that E flat major is going to be our relative major key, or the note that A flat is the fourth of for its scale. So if we know this is 5 half steps down in this direction, we also know that from A flat up to E flat is 7 half steps, because there are 12 half steps in an entire octave. We also can determine that the note A flat, the note E flat here, E flat, will be the fifth degree of our A flat Lydian scale. So we could simply play the E flat major scale starting on A flat, or its fourth degree, to give us a Lydian mode. Or we could use the pattern of a whole step, whole step, whole step. Here's our half step. So you have the 3 whole steps, your half step. This is your relative major. And then we need 2 whole steps, whole, whole. And the final half step here will be to the duplicate note on the octave, our A flat note here. So again, we had whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half. That's going to give us our Lydian mode. Let's remove the chips here that aren't in the Lydian mode. And you can see downward in inverse, the pattern is the Locrian pattern. That's another mode as well. Half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole. Now the notes of Locrian ascending won't be the same notes as the Lydian descending, but the pattern is there. So we're left now with the notes of our A flat Lydian mode: A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, and G. And we can see now that the Lydian mode is going to be our sharp 4 mode here, because when we compare the major scale of A flat to the A flat Lydian, we're missing a flat, a D flat here on the 4th degree. So we have essentially a sharp 4 scale of Lydian on the fourth degree of your A flat scale is a D flat that's been raised to D natural, or sharp 4. Okay, here is our relative major key of E flat. You can see the 3 flats from E flat, B flat, E flat, and A flat. But because there's no D flat in a relative major, we have the sharp 4, which occurs on every Lydian mode because of the position. You can also see if we move our E flat, F, and G down here to the left, we have our E flat major scale. E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, and D. If we were to number these scale degrees, E flat would be 1, F is 2, G is 3, A flat is 4. This is our Lydian mode we'll be dealing with on the fourth degree, A flat. B flat is 5, C is 6, and D is 7. So it's good to number our major scale degrees in all keys. Again, we're in E flat here, but you want to number them in all your Ionian modes. So root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in E flat. And we're going to shift this back down to our Lydian position. Just going to give us a 4, 5, 6, 7 root, here's the E flat, 2 and 3 scale degrees. Relative to a relative major. So we have A flat, B flat, C, the sharp 4, D natural, E flat is our root, F and G, 2 and 3. Now, realizing that, we can determine our triads of our Lydian mode, starting here on the fourth degree, 4, 6 root for the first triad, which is going to be a major triad, A flat, C, E flat. Our second triad, here on the 5, 7, 2 degrees, B flat, D, and F is major. The third triad of Lydian is 6 root 3, F, C, E flat, G, C, E flat, G is a minor triad. Our sharp 4 here from the Lydian mode is the 7th scale degree of a relative major. So 7, 2, and 4 is what is it? D, F, and A flat. D, F, A flat. Our 5th degree is the root 3rd, 5th of our relative major. A flat, C, and E flat. Here on our 6th triad is 2, 4, and 6. F, A flat, C. And our 7th degree of Lydian is 3, 5, and 7. G, B flat, and D, which is minor as well. So again, our triads are built on each note with alternating scale tones. The qualities, where the 1 chord is major, the 2 is major, the 3 is minor, the sharp 4 is diminished, the 5 is major, the 6 is minor, and the 7 is minor. And if we do the same thing for our 7th chords, we're going to be building 7th chords, and we're going to include the 4th note as an extension for each chord, which is going to give us the chords of our A flat Lydian mode, for the sharp 4. Okay, so we're going to have the 4, 6 root third here, A flat, C, E flat, and G. Again, this is a major 7 chord, A flat major 7, and it's going to have a 2+1 interval here for its spacing. We have a 4-3-4, and this minor third is a 2+1, because C to E flat in this key, you have C to D is 2 half steps, and D to E flat is 1. So for our scale, 2 plus 1 is right here. On the second chord, we have the 5-7-2-4 dominant 7 chord of E flat. Starting on B flat, D, F, and A flat. 5-7-2-4. Again, we have a minor third. F to A flat is a minor third resting on a major triad, B flat major with the A flat. 5-7-2-4 upper relative major. And it's going to have, in these minor thirds, it's a 4-3-3 spacing. So our minor thirds here are going to be a 1+2 and a 2+1. Here the dominant 7 is on the second position of Lydian, and it is that way in every Lydian key. Your 5-7-2-4 dominant 7 is in the second position, or the second chord of a Lydian scale. Your third position is the 6-3-5 minor 7. Here, C, E flat, G, and B flat. C, E flat, G, B flat is 6-3-5 of the relative major key. Here in our third position, it's going to have a 2+1 interval here and a 1+2 here for its 3-4-3 spacing for minor 7 triads, or 7th chords. Here our sharp 4 is 7-2-4-6, and you might recognize those scale degrees from the major scale. 7-2-4-6 is always half diminished. So we're going to have a D, F, A flat, and C. Again, half diminished chords have a major third here, or 4 half steps between the A flat and the C on this interval. So we have a 3-3-4 spacing. It's going to have a 1+2 here and a 2+1 interval here. For C, C, E, I'm sorry, is that D, F, A flat, C. I don't know what I said. D, F, A flat, C. Sharp 4, half diminished chord. Here's the 5 chord as a relative major, root 3rd, 5th, and 7th, E flat, G, B flat, and D. E flat, G, B flat, D is a major 7 chord. It's the relative major, or the key of which our A flat Lydian mode is derived from. It's going to be a major 7 chord with a 1+2 interval here, or 4-3-4 spacing. 1+2 here. Our 6th chord is the 2-4-6 root minor 7 chord, F, A flat, C, E flat. 2-4-6 root scale degrees of E flat, F, A flat, C, E flat are our notes. Our spacing is a 3-4-3 spacing. And in particular, this differs here from the 3 chord in that the minor thirds are both 2+1 intervals. Here we had a 2+1 and a 1+2, one of each. Here we have both 2+1s. Okay, our 7th position minor 7 chord is a 3-5-7-2 chord, G, B flat, D, and F. Again, another 3-4-3 spacing. the 1+2 here and a 1+2 here. Again, this is the same quality as this minor 7, except for the minor thirds are 1+2s instead of 2+1s. And that has to do with the scale and the position. But they're always the same. So every time you have a minor 7, the 3-5-7-2 minor 7 has 1+2s, and your 2-4-6 root minor 7 has 2+1s. Again, the minor 7 here on 6 root 3-5 has one of either, 2+1 here and a 1+2 here. Your dominant 7 chord, 5-7-2-4, always has a 1+2 and a 2+1. And your half diminished 7-2-4-6 always has 1+2 and 2+1 on the first two intervals, with a major third here. Okay, so you can see across the bottom, these are your chords of A flat Lydian. We had 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3 scale degrees of E flat. Across here you have the 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5 of E flat, giving you an Aeolian pattern. Across the fifths you have the Ionian mode, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D. And across your seventh row up here, you have the Phrygian mode. So starting on 3, all right, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat, F. G is Phrygian mode. So those are also modes as well across the different degrees of the chords, diatonically. Okay, let's talk about the inversions of these chords. Assuming those scale degrees won't change, I'm going to talk about the spacing of the intervals of the chords. Again, when you invert these, the scale degrees will still be what they are. So, for instance, on this first chord, we have the 4, 6, root 3. If we were to invert this, the scale degrees are simply go with it. It's simply going to be 6, root 3, 4, 6, root 3 of E flat. But that gets a little confusing. So we're going to stick with our note names and just talk about the interval quality. So here we have essentially the 4-3-4 inverted, a 3-4-1 position starting on C. So we have C, E flat, G, A flat. Here's our 4-1-4 starting on E flat, G, A flat, C, to a 1-4-3 starting on G, A flat, C, E flat. Coming down is E flat, C, A flat, G, C, A flat, G, E flat, A flat, G, E flat, C, and G, E flat, C, A flat for A flat major 7. Our 2 chord was B flat, D, F, A flat, a dominant 7, which is a 4-3-3 spacing. When we invert it, we have a 3-3-2 starting on D, F, A flat, B flat, to our 3-2-4 starting on F, A flat, B flat, D, to a 2-4-3 starting on A flat, B flat, D, F. Coming down is F, D, B flat, A flat, D, B flat, A flat, F, B flat, A flat, F, D, and A flat, D, A flat, F, D, B flat. B flat dominant. Here's a C minor 7, C, E flat, G, B flat, a 3-4-3 spacing. When we invert it, we have a 4-3-2 starting on E flat, G, B flat, C, to a 3-2-3 starting on G, B flat, C, E flat, to a 2-3-4 starting on B flat, C, E flat, G. Coming down is G, E flat, C, B flat, E flat, C, B flat, G, C, B flat, G, E flat, and B flat, G, E flat, C. Here's our sharp 4 chord, D, F, A flat, C. It's half diminished. It was a 3-3-4 spacing. D, F, A flat, C. We invert it. We have a 3-4-2 spacing. F, A flat, C, D. To our 4-2-3 spacing. B, G flat, B. I'm sorry. Let's see. A flat, C, D, F. A flat, C, D, F. To our 2-3-3 spacing, starting on C, C, D, F, and A flat. Coming down as A flat, F, D, C. F, D, C, A flat. D, C, A flat, F. And C, A flat, F, D. Or D half diminished, or D minor 7 flat 5. Here on the sharp 4 position of A flat Lydian. Our 5 chord is relative major, E flat, G, B flat, D. Again, this is a 4-3-4 spacing. When we invert it, we have a 3-4-1 starting on G, G, B flat, D, E flat. To a 4-1-4 starting on B flat, D, E flat, G. To our 1-4-3 starting on G, D, E flat, G, B flat. Coming down as B flat, G, E flat, D. G, E flat, D, B flat. E flat, D, B flat, G. And D, B flat, G, E flat. Our 6th position chord of Lydian was the minor 7, 2-4-6 root, F minor 7, F, A flat, C, E flat, a 3-4-3 spacing. When we invert this, we have a 4-3-2 position starting on A flat, C, E flat, F. To a 3-2-3 position starting on C, E flat, F, A flat. To our 2-3-4 position starting on E flat, F, A flat, and C. Coming down to C, A flat, F, E flat, A flat, F, E flat, C, F, E flat, C, A flat, and E flat, C, A flat, F, or F minor 7. Here's our 7th position chord, a G minor 7, G, B flat, D, F, 3-5-7-2 for relative major. It's a 3-4-3 spacing. When we invert it, we have a 4-3-2 starting on G flat. Let's see, starting on B flat, excuse me. Starting on B flat. B flat, D, F, G. To our 3-2-3 position, starting on D, F, G, B flat. To a 2-3-4, starting on F, G, B flat, D. Coming down is D, B flat, G, F. B flat, G, F, D, G, F, D, B flat, and F, D, B flat, G. And those are your chords of A flat Lydian. We had an A flat major 7, B flat dominant, a C minor 7. The sharp 4 is D half diminished, or D minor 7 with a flat 5. A relative major, E flat major 7, F minor 7, and G minor 7. And those are your chords of A flat Lydian mode.